Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a very unique experience when it comes to your car, because we're actually going to be looking at a refrigerator. It's a refrigerator that's intended to fit in your bottom part of your trunk in your Model 3 Highland 2024 edition Tesla, and it's going to get things really, really cold. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. What we're looking at essentially is an entirely assembled unit itself. And for the most part, everything that you're seeing here it's actually pretty much it. It has a little bit of a display here at configuration where you actually plug it into the cigarette light adapter, and then that actually plugs in. If you're running on the Model 3, like the 2023 edition, and most Model 3s, they only have one cigarette light adapter, and that's all the way in the front part of the car. So that's why this wire is actually long enough that it'll actually route, and I'll show you guys real quick how I'm routing it through the side panel, through actually side seat in the back, under my floor mat, and then right through all the way to the front. It will have to stick out a little bit unless you want to manually route it all the way from the bottom. But for the most part, when you need it, you're able to plug it in. When you don't, you can unplug it and keep it just basically sitting there. What we're seeing as far as the actual unit is when you're using it in the actual trunk, not necessarily when you just have it in there. If you're using it, because it does have some, I guess, some heat dissipation because it generates some temperature, it's not a lot. They provide us with a different cover. This is going to be basically a custom cover that you're able to put above it so that you can put things in the trunk with ventilated slits open on both right and left side, allowing it to actually allow the air to go out. Now, obviously, this doesn't come out of the trunk, but it's enough for it that even though you're using it when you're driving, it's not going to generate too much heat. And of course, you could just put your actual cover into the back. I ran a couple of tests on this, and initially what I ended up doing is I used one of my power bank that had a cigarette light adapter, and I tested it out to see does it actually have the ability of cooling things down. And you know what? Absolutely. It drops temperatures down cold enough for it to actually generate, to make your drinks cold. You can put a lot of bottles of water here, soda cans and stuff, even food. If you're traveling, you want to be able to pick up something and you don't have a cooler, this is going to work great because it'll keep things cool for you and you don't need it. Just unplug it from the front and you're ready to go. Very simple, very easy. The one thing I will say is you cannot use floor liners in the trunk when you're using it. You do need to use disc cover to allow the heat to dissipate. Otherwise, you're going to generate too much heat in the trunk. It does basically no different than just using your cigarette light. If you're using something on the car, it doesn't really drain the batteries too much. But I would recommend you unplugging it when you're not using it so that you don't use too much power anyways. The slit is very nice, very simple, very sturdy, and it uses the weight on top of the actual cooler to keep it pretty much leveled. And if you're not using it, you can cover it up, put your floor mats, otherwise keep it open to be able to keep things nice and flowing. Performance pretty straightforward. It's going to cool things in about maybe an hour or so. So if it's just turned off and put it in, if you're driving for about an hour, it's going to get things nice and cold for you. And if you put things that are already cold in there, it'll help it a little bit faster. And one thing to mention as far as the actual cooling element, it's actually positioned next to the light on the right side, close to the panel as we're looking at it. So one of the things you'll probably see here, if I'm lifting this one, put it in the back, and what you're seeing here is essentially the actual door. The cooling element is sitting here on the right, and there's a light that you can actually see in case it's dark. There's two handles on the side in case you want to be able to take it out so you can get access to this. You can probably put it in the garage, bring it back whenever you need it. So it's small, it's nice, it's portable. And I haven't tested it out with a Model Y, but I imagine a Model Y being a little bit easier as well. Also, Model Ys have a cigarette light adapter in the trunk, which makes it a little bit easier. But the wire is made to be used in a Model 3 because it's long enough to go all the way to the front. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Has it been something that you guys have been thinking about? I've actually been looking at one of these for quite some time. It's great for travel. It's great if you want to get things maybe far that need to stay cool, but you don't have a cooler. This is an active cooling. It does actually generate cold temperatures, and there's a display here to give you the ability of seeing the temperatures and how it performs. And if you have a power bank that does provide, let's say, power through a cigarette light adapter, this actually works with it quite well. You can put it in the trunk, run it, or even run it as an emergency, cooler for the house in case there's a power outage. So there's really a lot of functional options, and because it's removable, it's easy to access wherever you want it. As always, thank you very much to Hansshow for letting me check out this unit and, of course, share with you guys my experience. There'll be a link in the description below, of course, if you're looking to pick up one for yourself. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support, and, of course, as always, make sure you stay cool.